What's
Yo,
up?
what is going on? That was a sexy, sexy
Very.
little intro right there.
It was. It was. I wanted to spruce it up a little bit for us, for our viewers.
Props,
What you guys
props
think?
to you, my friend. That thing was excellent. If you
Very
remember
nice.
when you
Very
first
nice.
sent it to me, my reaction had you
Yes.
giggling a little bit.
Yes, yes. Your reaction was said it all, my friend. It said it all.
Yeah,
But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Thanks for the heads up on the music, Mike. But yeah, I mean, I
You're
was I
welcome.
was like, you know what? I want to spruce this up. I gotta up our game here.
right.
So
So,
Looks awesome.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roly's Retro Room podcast. I am your host, Roly. That is my co-host, Tony.
what's
And
up?
for the first time, starting up with us in the beginning, our producer is on camera,
Hello.
Mike.
Welcome,
DJ
Mike.
Mikey Mix.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be
So
here.
Good.
yeah. So how's everybody's week going?
Not bad. Mike.
It's going good. Working hard and trying to get this podcast up and going and edited so that you guys have a lot of content. So I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of stuff has been happening this week. I mean, not personally to me, but just in the world. And we'll touch up on some of those things. But as you know, I believe this weekend, when this will come out after that, but the San Diego Comic Con's going on right now. And as I just scroll through my feed, there's tons of things being shown, and basically just sadness takes over because there's like exclusives at this thing, and it's just like, bro, I want everything that they're
What
showing
is
at
it?
this thing.
What is it?
So one of the things, there's this TMNT watch, Ninja Turtle watch, that Kevin Eastman is signing like all of them.
No way.
It's
Really?
only it's only being sold there, and my heart's broken because it's like the website sells them for like $50, so it's not that expensive, but they're only releasing it at San Diego Comic Con. The other thing, this thing I today, like, I slept during the day because I was up all night with my teenage brother-in-law, introducing him to the Scream movies. So we saw all the
Nice.
Scream movies within
Nice.
2 days, and I slept all day. So when I woke up today in the afternoon, I got a bunch of messages from a bunch of friends. Everyone knows that my favorite Disney movie is a Goofy movie. It's all over the place. I post about it all the time. Yeah. So Mondo is making a
Of
three
course.
pack
Of course they are.
of a Goofy movie, which brings Max, Powerline, and Goofy. And Mondo figures look incredible. If you've seen the Ghostbuster line or just any line that
Yes.
they've come out with, Mondo is ridiculous. Like their stuff is just top notch. And these are not toys for kids. These are toys for adults, for those of us doing our thing over here like that. So,
Absolutely. It's when for
but
adults that have money now.
yeah, but yeah, the Ghostbuster drop. They today. I think today was the first time we saw all four of the figures with the ghosts and stuff like
Yep.
that. The Goofy three pack is just so beautiful, but it's not released yet. It's just they showed like that it's coming out,
Right.
and then that TMNT watch. There's a bunch of other stuff like I've seen, and it's just like I don't want to list it. I don't want to talk about it because it's kind of depressing. but
Out of all of
but
us
yeah, man.
three, you were the only one who's ever gone to a San Diego Comic Con, right?
No, no. Every year I try to do it, and I never get tickets. There was 2 years where I was like hardcore, like I was on the waiting list. The minute the pre-sales went up, I would go on there. But like I was working when these things were like I was working for AT&T at the time, and when it would go live, I would have to, like, if I wasn't with some, like, helping a customer or something like that, try to run to the back and get to a computer, but it just never happened. Funny enough, my girl literally the other day was just like, why haven't you been to San Diego Comic Con? Let's go next year. And I was like, oh, it's cute that you think it's just like, well, we could go online
Yeah.
and buy tickets, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the biggest convention in the world.
Yes.
I've
It's
been
one of those
I've been
things.
to New York Comic Con. That one's really good, and I went there by mistake, and with my son, like,
Right.
just randomly. MegaCon in Orlando was a big one. They had like a
Yeah.
bunch of guests. I've been to other smaller cons, like the one you guys have down there in
Yeah.
Florida.
SuperCon just happened. Yeah. So a lot of
And
people
Florida
went.
SuperCon is, I mean, it's the biggest con in Miami, Florida.
Not in Florida, right?
Not in Florida. No, MegaCon
Yeah.
is definitely the biggest con in Florida, but Florida SuperCon is the biggest one in Miami, and the the quality, not to talk crap about it, but the quality of Florida SuperCon is not on par with like MegaCon, New York Comic
Yeah,
Con, or San Diego
yeah,
Con.
Never
Remember
been.
the first time the Red Ranger was going to start doing, like Austin St. John was going to start doing conventions. That was the second convention he ever went to, and I was like, oh, like I wasn't gonna go, or like I was gonna go for like a day, but then when they announced him, and I had gotten like this thing signed by all the other Rangers, and he wasn't doing conventions,
mm,
I was like, okay, no, I gotta go to this one. Austin St. John. The Red Ranger's that's my dude. Everyone has Tommy at the top, and I think Tommy's awesome. I have a whole Green Ranger and White Ranger section, but the Red Ranger's definitely like that's my favorite Ranger of all time. And when Austin St. John, I'm like, okay. The funny thing is, when I met him, I'm taller than him, and like I'm bigger than him. So it was weird when you meet like one of your childhood heroes, and you're just like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, he's not that much shorter than me. I'm like an inch or two taller than him, but the fact that like in your head you're just like, oh, like I looked up to you metaphorically and figuratively, and now it's just like it's crazy that like our eye line is a little off. I remember I got like voted like best Star Lord at one of the conventions I went to, and the only thing I built were my guns. Everything else I bought. I bought my jacket. I bought
right.
my shirt. I had like a Hot Topic. All
Yeah.
the little medallions I had because I was Star Lord from like the second one.
Hmm.
The pants I got from like a cosplay place, oh, I made my Walkman and my headphones, but
Nice.
I was voted best Star Lord not for anything. I guess it's just because my look, like how
Yeah.
I physically look, was
Yeah.
the closest to like Chris Pratt versus the other guys. I actually have a picture of that. I'll probably like post it on here
For
in
sure.
the things so they could see it. But yeah, those are conventions. Maybe next year I'll go to San Diego Comic Con, and a year from now we'll be talking about my visit to San Diego Comic Con because
That would be a
we
dream.
will be doing this a year from now. So
Yeah. If we could get tickets to San Diego Comic Con and we all go, bro, that would be epic.
I've never
we'll
been
Epic.
to a Comic Con at all, so
Not at any convention, Mike?
that's his fault because I've invited him and he just doesn't go.
I mean,
Bro.
I've been to conventions, but I haven't been to like a Comic Con one. Like I've been to car ones and stuff like that.
Dude, and it's crazy. There's other conventions. There's like RetroCon and stuff like that. There's like a bunch of different other stuff that's happening. It's not just
Well, there's a bunch of conventions there. I mean, summertime is the con time.
it's gonna be
August,
great.
so it's the week of my birthday, so we're gonna watch that August 18 viewing with a
Nice.
big group of friends. So far, I think I got like 13 friends
Oh,
committed to watching that for my birthday. Chris is
that's
going
awesome.
with us, so
Nice.
that'll be a Monday night. Mike should be going with us, so we'll see.
Yes,
going?
Mike. To watch.
To watch the first Ninja Turtle movie. They're doing a in theater release for it.
Yeah, for the
Oh, for
30th
sure.
anniversary.
I will be there.
Yeah.
And
So
you're coming down for that?
I'm gonna be in Miami for my birthday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
So we're
So-
hoping, we'll probably shoot a podcast afterwards and talk about it and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
a special edition or something like that. So yeah, I'm
So
excited for that one.
so funny enough, unrelated, but that you bring that up. This week's movie spotlight is TMNT, but the second one, Secret of the Ooze. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Secret of the Ooze, the second movie.
What a great movie.
That is this week's spotlight. Now, if it wasn't given away, like everything I have going on in my room, they have Ninja Turtles has a very big amount of real estate in my room. I have an arcade. I have a wall with things on card, some toys on card, two cabinets filled with TMNT stuff, and just I mean, I'm repping them today.
All right.
So TMNT is super heavy when it comes to my stuff. But I actually have it right here, the VHS, so you can see.
Look
We ain't
at
messing
that.
around over here.
Secret of the Ooze. Man, that is in pristine condition, bro.
Maybe on camera it's coming up like that, but it's really not that. But whatever. I got a box full of, I think there's like 35 VHSs. I got
Yeah.
it for like $15 or something like that. And 1, 2, and 3 were in there. But
Yeah.
anyways, the movie spotlight.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Why that one? Because growing up, this movie was, at the time when I was a kid, this was my favorite Ninja Turtle movie. Part 1 was excellent. I loved part
Yeah.
1. But part 2 appealed to me more. And funny enough, when I as I grew up and I was watching stuff in comparison to the movies, I realized why part two I loved it so much as a kid, but now as an adult, part one is again my favorite. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. So, first off, let's talk about that intro. The
Oh, that
intro
intro.
to TMNT2 to Secret of the Ooze is crazy because there's no way you could watch this intro and not want a New York pizza,
For
like a
sure.
cheese New York pizza.
Yeah.
And mind you, I've been to New York 100 times,
Yeah.
and I've gone. I've had pizza from a bunch of places.
We went to that
Nothing,
pizza recently last year, and
yeah,
we I don't think we anything came close to that
nothing
intro.
looks like that pizza. That gooey, falling off,
Yeah.
stretchy pizza.
Yeah.
Nothing ever like comes out like that. They
Yeah.
throw them, they have the pizzas there. They throw them into the oven again to like kind of reheat it up for you. And
Yeah.
it's not the same. And bro, hella, I've gone to so many places in New York. Is there good pizza in New York? Absolutely. New York has some of the best pizza I've ever had,
Absolutely.
but nothing ever
Like
looks
the
like that
intro.
pizza.
Yeah, I
The
think we have
only
a video, don't we? Mike, do we have
oh
a
my
video?
god, run that video. You have to see this intro. This intro is ridiculous. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my god, that music alone is
that
incredible.
intro is so nostalgic.
Yeah, absolutely.
The music, 90s New York,
Everybody's eating pizza.
everyone. Here it goes.
Slices.
Raw.
Ugh. I'm eating pizza tomorrow.
I'm definitely eating pizza
It's a
tomorrow.
nice little kiss.
Yeah. And let's eat some pizza.
Taxi day. Oh, just there at the corner.
Look at all these people eating pizza on their way.
On the go.
They must
Nobody on
have
the
like gave
phone.
out free
Everyone's
pizza.
eating pizza.
Exactly. They must have gave out free pizza. So like
Let's arrest
everybody.
this guy and get our
Yeah.
pizza.
Anyway, let's eat some pizza first. Look at that. Look at that.
That flop. Look at that
Look at
flop
this.
on that pizza.
Seriously. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at that
this.
cheese, dude.
That is a goofy movie pizza
a
right
goofy
there.
movie pizza right there.
Yo, Keno, come on,
My boy Keno coming up.
We got another order for that O'Neill woman.
Are you kidding me again? You should be buying it wholesale.
Don't forget the shadow, eh? Do not be shit. Keno, be careful, eh?
Here comes
Look at
the
that.
ultimate diss.
The Riz right here for Keno.
Which
For
one
all
of you
you-
lucky
for all you
girls gets
Gen
to ride
Zs.
with me tonight?
Dream on, dweeb.
Yeah, okay. But when I do, I'll dream of something a little thinner.
So stupid.
Yo.
Oh, Keno
Yo.
said, never mind.
A little thinner.
But dude, that intro, I'm just like, me and my brother, I must have forced my brother to watch this movie a million times. No, I had this movie on VHS and played the shit out of it like every day. If we didn't have something new to watch, it was our default Ninja Turtles 2.
We can say that movie word for word.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure.
from beginning to end. My son, who like once I introduced him to Turtles, this one was his favorite. So, and I'll go back to why that happened. But this movie it came out a year, maybe a year and a half after the first one, because the first one blew up. The first one was it was it was the independent movie that had the most sales, like the most ticket sales. It broke all the records for independent movies from an independent like film house or whatever. So like, all right, we gotta strike while the iron's hot, and they just pushed this one out. So here's the thing: the reason why this one, to me and to a lot of kids will tell you, or people who are our age, oh yeah, growing up, part two was my favorite, is because it was catered more towards children. They wanted it to look and feel more like the cartoon. The first one was very close to the comic book,
And
even
very
though
gritty,
they incorporated
very gritty, very,
and they
you know-
incorporated the color of the bandanas, but in the original they're all red. But in this one, they're like, look, no weapons. They have their weapons, but they can't fight with their weapons.
That was the
The
moms
act-
that were upset with it. That's all that
Right.
was.
The action is in the movie very minimal. Like if you actually go back and watch part two, the action is very minimal. It's very it's very cartoony. It's very like the shows. So mind you, you had Tokar and Razor on there, but there isn't a lot of like martial arts in it.
Yeah.
The Michelangelo in the beginning doesn't use his nunchucks. He uses
No, it
the
doesn't.
freaking the sausages. The
Sausages.
yeah,
Exactly.
combat cold cuts.
Yep. What a line, bro. What a line.
But so yeah, they wanted this to be more cartoony. Don't use the weapons. A lot more slapstick comedy. Michelangelo had a lot more of a presence in this one as like the comic relief. They were all just kind of goofy. Donatello, while a little more serious, was super goofy in it as well. He was goofy in the first one, but in this one he was just, I feel like they upped the silliness because they wanted to appeal to the kids, and they wanted to have more of the cartoon vibe.
Right.
But it's so crazy to me. But as an adult now, the first one is such a masterpiece of a movie.
I think I appreciate the first one as an adult, like better. Like you go back to it and it's like, oh man, this is some heavy stuff. You get the meditation and stuff like that. But TMNT2, it was like definitely giving cater to kids. The only thing I didn't get is like you had like a blueprint from the cartoon. Look, you had Rocksteady and Bebop. Why didn't you put that in TMNT2? Why did we come up with these
Tokar
odd
and Razor.
characters? Yeah, Tokar and Razor. I'm like, dude, everybody thought it was like I think when I first saw it, I'm sure when you first saw it, oh, it's gonna be Rocksteady and Bebop. And we're like, wait a minute, it's not.
Yep.
Who are these guys?
Yeah.
So
And if you look at Shredder from part one and Shredder from part two, in part one, he looks more like the Shredder from the cartoons. His stature, his costume, it's red
yeah,
in the first one. In part two, they got a different actor. And the suit was purple. They
Yeah.
made his helmet have like the blades. He's like they're sharpening it to have blades on it and stuff like that. And I mean, when he goes Super Shredder, this is something that I didn't like about the movie. At the end, so granted, me not knowing as a kid that this one has been watered down to not be as action packed. Granted, I enjoyed the movie. I loved the movie as a kid, and to this day I still enjoy it. At the end, when Shredder takes the last vial of ooze and turns into Super Shredder, I almost got so excited because I'm like, okay, Super Shredder, this guy is huge, mutagen. All right, we haven't seen much fighting in the movie. This thing is about to go down. Offer it just to be like Leo comes up to him, tells him, Shredder, you gotta listen to reason. You're gonna like kill us all. And he's like, so be it. Throws him
Yeah.
and then just crushes the thing. And he's like, oh, there's one thing I love about being a turtle. And they jump into the water and then they survive. And then Shredder basically kills himself
yeah. And
by
there's no
dropping the
fight.
thing on him. And I'm like, what was that? The first movie, we got this epic fight scene of
Yes.
Shredder just manhandling the turtles. So I thought this would be some kind of redemption where the turtles like, yo, over this whole time we've been training and this and that, and now we're gonna fight a Super Shredder. So that was disappointing. Even when I saw it as a kid, I was just like, all right, whatever. The movie was good, and I mean, the other elements of the movie that kind of stood out to me was the soundtrack. The
Yes.
Vanilla Ice's second biggest song to hit any airwave.
Yeah.
Airwave. You had Ice Ice Baby, and then Ninja Rap.
Go Ninja. Yeah, Ninja Rap. Yeah.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go
Ninja, go.
Ninja Rap. That song. If you ask anybody, yo, name me 3 songs from Vanilla Ice, they're gonna tell you Ice Ice Baby. They're gonna tell you Ninja Rap, and even if they're not Ninja
Yeah.
Turtle fans,
They're
they'll
gonna
go
tell you.
Ninja, or they'll tell you the Ninja Turtle song.
Yeah.
And then for that third song, good luck.
Good luck finding one.
I couldn't tell you a third Vanilla Ice song.
Yeah.
Off rip.
Nah.
And we're from Miami, and he had like a very hard like following
Presence.
in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah. He's from
Me
Miami.
Being a DJ, I don't have another Vanilla Ice song.
I couldn't
Look at
tell you
that.
another Vanilla Ice song.
I couldn't even.
But-
He had a movie, and we couldn't tell you what Vanilla
Yeah.
Ice song what it was.
But-
But those 2 songs, no
Mhm.
problem. Everybody knows it.
But TMN2, man, I'll tell you. And the other thing about this movie, while watered down, this one had a toy line. The first one didn't have a toy line. I don't know
Yeah.
if you knew that.
No, I
The
didn't know
first
that.
one did not. The first one did not have a toy line whatsoever.
Well, because it was an independent
then-
movie, right?
Right, but you would think that they would. Playmates had a thing with the cartoons, so
Yeah.
when the first movie came out, they were kind of just like, I guess, on edge because it was a darker tone and stuff like that, and they weren't
Right.
sure if the movie would even get like any kind of play or like they did not they underestimated the success of the movie. So when the second one came out, they're like, we need a toy line for this. This toy line, when I tell you, man, I didn't have this. All right, I didn't have it personally.
Right.
Mike and I lived with some cousins in not North Miami. It was Hollandale. We lived in Hollandale in
Okay.
1991, 92 ish,
Okay.
and we lived with some cousins, and my cousins got the toys, and I
nice.
was just these toys, the Ninja Turtle 2 toys, Secret of the Ooze. These had a rubber texture to their skin with like these spots to make them more real. And I was like, bro, these toys are so awesome. I'm like, Mom, please, God, just give me Raph. I just need Raph. She goes, no, you have like 19 different turtles. You have 20 of these of the same turtle, and they all do something. One mutates, the other one had like a speaker on the back that you rip the thing and it would say like a phrase. There was like a flipping one. I had a shit ton of turtles, a shit ton of turtles. So she was like, I'm done. I'm not buying you any more turtles. Like, you have it. I'm like trying to explain to her, yeah, but this one's from the movie. And she's just like,
Yeah.
it does the same thing that all your turtles do. But this line was awesome. I thought they looked great. I own them now. I have the whole set down there. The Super Shredder was super clunky and bulky. There's one right now. There's a Super Shredder toy right now that was an exclusive, I want to say Chef Boyardee one that you got from Chef Boyardee, and that thing is worth stupid money.
Really?
Stupid amount of money. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's crazy how much that I think it's Chef Boyardee. It's a Chef Boyardee like collaboration they did with the Ninja Turtle movie toy line, and it's a Super Shredder, and that thing is hella expensive right now.
Jesus, that's crazy. Funny enough, I think I don't know. People know. I'm sure people know this. Super Shredder is played by pro wrestler Kevin Nash.
Yes. Yep.
Which
Again.
he also played the villain in Punisher, the first Punisher movie, I believe. The
Well,
Russian.
the Punisher with Thomas Jane in 2000s,
Yes, the Russian.
not the Dolph Lundgren one. Yeah.
No, not that one. But yeah,
But even then, with that, you see Kevin Nash as Super Shredder, and you see the four turtles, and you think this is gonna be an epic battle, just for what it was.
it's about to go down. What happened? What happened? Just what happened?
Yeah.
So yeah, well, that was our movie spotlight.
But yeah, man, it's
Still a good movie.
That's
And
the movie spotlight.
I believe. Let me ask. Kino was a Ninja Turtle in the part one.
In the first one.
He was
Yeah.
one of the Ninja Turtles in the first one. He was one of the stunt people, right?
He was one of the stunt guys, and then he came out for the
Nice.
for the second one. He was out of the suit.
Nice, very nice.
The
And
first movie was when Shredder fell into the garbage truck, right?
yes,
Part
very
one
good.
is when he falls in the back of the garbage truck.
Yeah, yeah. And what's his name? Oops. So
Yeah.
Oh,
when
Casey.
They tighten it.
Casey. Yeah,
When they
Yeah.
push
Yeah.
the-
That was
the
Casey
button.
at the end.
yeah.
So
So-
again, that was one of the things that the moms complained about. It's like, yo, you guys murdered someone at the end of the damn movie. This movie's supposed to be for kids. So yeah, man, those moms back then just
They were ruthless, bro. They were, I mean,
killing the movies for us, man.
yeah, man.
Like, how you gonna have ninjas with weapons and they don't use the weapons not even once? Granted, they're fighting like the foot soldiers were people in the movies. They weren't robots like they were in the cartoons. So yeah, essentially, if you're fighting teenagers, they're teenage boys.
Yeah,
You're not gonna have Leonardo impaling teenage boys with his swords. So I figured like there should have been some kind of like thing where like I don't know how you would have done it in the 90s where Shredder meets Krang and then they make robotic foot soldiers.
exactly. Well, I think now what they should do is do the Last Ronin for us millennials.
Well,
As a
they are
movie.
doing that.
They are doing that? No, they're not. They
They're doing
announced
a
that.
game. They're doing a
They're
game.
doing a game. I heard that.
And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I heard a movie. I don't think it's gonna
Man.
be live action.
Oh, so that's the thing. I thought it'd be like we would need I would like a live action, the Last Ronin That would be for us millennials. I mean, it wouldn't be for kids. Obviously,
Right.
everybody who's read the graphic novel, it's not for
Mhm.
kids whatsoever. But it's for us millennials. That's for sure. That's
Yeah.
definitely for sure. But yeah, TMNT two,
TMNT2. Definitely
TMNT two.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. Awesome movie. Not the best one. The best one going back is the first one. And the third one is just
I'm not talking about the third
like
one.
we're not talking about the third one.
We're not talking about
They
the third one.
changed the guys who made the suit. It's not Jim Henson.
Yeah, because he passed away.
You had it so small touch and then we'll get off of this. It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. At that time, Turtles in Time came out for Super Nintendo.
Right.
Turtles in Time is one of the best TMNT video games to ever come out.
Okay.
This movie was like promoted as the Turtles go back in time. They didn't say anything else. So what are we thinking? We're like, oh my god, we're getting Turtles in Time the movie. What a fucking fumble!
Yeah.
What an opportunity they had to make a movie with the Turtles going back in time. One, the suits look atrocious.
Yeah.
They
it's
look like
terrible.
complete ass. And two, the movie itself is so boring. So boring. Like
I
I was
think I
just
fell
like
asleep.
blown out of my mind. And I think that year too, the Double Dragon movie came out and that was another debacle, which we'll talk about another time. But
Well, that'll be
yeah,
another time. Well,
TMNT
I
two.
only
Wow,
remember
man.
one thing of that movie, and what's her name? I forgot her name.
Alyssa
That was in it.
Milano.
Yes, that's what I remember about the movie. That's
I
it.
think most that's the takeaway of that movie is Alyssa
Yeah,
Milano and
Alyssa Milano.
T 1000 was the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So, but yeah, that is the movie spotlight. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. If you haven't watched it, why? Go watch it.
yeah, yeah,
And if you haven't seen it in a long time, go give it a rewatch.
yeah.
Watch the first one and the second one. You don't have to watch the third one. If
No,
somebody tells you, "Oh, you should
no
watch
need.
all three," tell them Roly from Roly's Retro Room said you could skip three. You don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need to see. You don't need to see three. Besides, the suits look like they developed some type of virus or something. We had some sad news this week, huh? Some some of our childhood, actors and wrestlers, and passed away. Man, there you go.
Yeah, man.
That's
Malcolm
crazy.
Jamal Warner, man, it's so crazy because he wasn't an he wasn't an old dude. It's tragic the
Yeah,
way he passed.
yeah,
But yeah, when I heard that, I immediately like I was just like, no way, bro. Like you always think when you see a celebrity passed
yeah,
that it's like a hoax or a joke or something like that.
yeah,
And I remember when I saw the thing about Paul Walker, I thought that was fake. But
yeah.
this one hit home because this is childhood right here. Like Malcolm Jamal
Absolutely.
Warner, dude, we all watched the Cosby Show.
Yeah, everybody.
Like the Cosby Show was like one of the shows like when it was in syndication, you were watching it. When it was live, you were watching it. And he was basically our. I mean, he was every teenage boy's voice
Yeah,
in that show. You know, the arguments he had with his dad, the sisters. He was cool at times. I almost want to make say that he made way for Eddie Winslow's character on Family Matters. There had to be like he must have
yeah,
taken example for that in Family Matters.
for sure.
He did go on later on to do other shows. He's been in movies. This one was crazy because like when I think Malcolm Jamal Warner, I just think of being a kid in my grandma's house, Cosby Show.
Yep, that's it. For us millennials and '90s, '80s and '90s kids, yeah. May you rest in peace. That was a big one, man. It really was.
Yeah,
And then another big one, I think, was Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy, man,
Yeah,
dude.
Black
How
Sabbath, bro.
much of his music did we listen to as kids? Did he
Yeah,
influence our later bands?
yeah, for sure.
He had a big run in popularity, not just for music, but in the 2000s with his show, with his
Hmm.
family. Like
Yep.
all of us were watching that show on MTV, all
Yeah,
of us.
the reality show.
And
That's right.
if memes were a thing back then, this show would have been like the number one memes
Ah,
show at that time.
most definitely, for sure.
Sharon.
Sharon. Yeah,
But dude,
for sure.
he lasted a long while, and I believe his the last appearance he did, he was like, he wasn't very mobile, but they
Yeah.
had his chair come up from like the center of the stage,
Hmm.
and he said a few words and stuff like that, and they paid him homage. And he paid like a lot of respects and to his fans, his family, especially to his wife.
Yeah, for sure.
It
Yeah,
wasn't that long ago. It was a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
That
yeah. He
concert
was.
was a couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a crazy. That's crazy. That's what's
and
crazy about it,
and
man.
it
He
was
was
a
still touring.
and it was a huge concert. Well, I think that was the like the one show he was gonna do to kind of like his farewell.
That's crazy. I wonder if he just kind of knew. It makes you wonder, you know.
Yeah.
So that he just kind of knew that yeah, this is it, you know. And we all know he's had a crazy influence on rock and roll, and most famously biting the head off a bat. But
Oh, yeah. Which has been mocked and redone in so many different cartoons, shows, movies. I
yep,
mean, Family Guy, The Simpsons,
little Nicky,
Little Nicky. Like,
yeah,
yeah. So,
for sure,
definitely an icon. I mean,
for,
he had an impact.
for sure.
And then
May he rest in
we
peace.
had
Today,
another one, which was another huge person that had an impact on our childhood.
today, yeah.
Hulk
That
Hogan.
Oh my God, that one hit today, and that was
Yeah.
actually happened today. And now I think I sent it to you, and I'm like, look, comes in threes. Here's Hulk Hogan. I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
and like
71.
we do a thing here called memes of the week, and I when I woke up today, I must have had like 18 DMs with Hulk Hogan. I was like, oh my god, like I was just seeing everybody's messages, and like every time I saw it, it was like a different post from a different like page that somebody sent me.
For
And
sure.
I'm just like, bro. Like, it's kind of had to like live it through. I'm like, okay, yes, I know, and like to the point where I didn't want to look at my messages anymore. I'm like, the
Yeah,
problem is not the problem. Hulk Hogan, you think back to the 80s, the 90s, and
yeah,
even the early 2000s. This guy was the face of WWF before the WWE,
he
WWF
was.
for a long time, and he had made some movies. I think I had one of the movies growing up. I can't remember. Suburban Commando. That was the name of the movie.
That's right. I
He
remember
had a
then.
movie called Suburban Commando, and I had this movie on VHS. Not only that, he had a show that my brother and I used to watch called Thunder in Paradise, where he
Oh,
had
that
a
was a
yeah.
great
boat.
show.
Yeah, I
He
remember.
had a boat, and it was the boat was kind of like stealthy and had like a bunch of all this like extra cool stuff on it.
Hmm.
And they would do missions one season, but I know most people are the only thing they remember him for is the wrestling, which the wrestling was incredible. He was the superhero. He was the guy
He
for
was.
wrestling. But I remember a lot of the other stuff. I remember him being in Rocky. I remember him being in Thunder in Paradise. When he was making those movies, the Suburban Commando with Christopher Lloyd.
Yep,
Yeah, man, he was just a '90s. Like he was a staple '90s icon. Like
for
no
sure.
one anywhere didn't recognize Hulk Hogan and
For sure.
Hulkmania, the ripping of the shirt, the color scheme, the red and yellow. Like come on,
Yeah,
dude.
and
And
let me tell you something.
granted,
Not to mention the toys that he brought along the way. I mean, just look, like you just add, you know, like you see this,
the wrestling
everybody,
buddies, yeah.
the wrestling buddies. This was iconic as a kid. You're jumping off beds with your friends and you're wrestling with this thing and you're doing his moves. And again, he was part of our childhood. He's part of our
Hmm.
retro. He was it, man. And he was, yeah, man, he was the epitome of wrestling, and
Yeah.
I think he was one of the first ones to really break into the movies. It wasn't The Rock. I think it was him.
No, yeah, it was. He's definitely him, and I want to say
Ronnie Piper,
Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant. Oh yeah,
I
you
think
know what?
Andre the Giant, and didn't Sergeant Slaughter? Well, he was like on GI Joe. Never
He
mind.
was in G.I. Joe, yes, essentially, yeah, but also, but like I think so. I think it was Andre the Giant, Ronnie Piper, because he was in what was that movie? They Live, that John Carpenter movie in
Hmm.
the '80s, and then Hulk Hogan, and then yeah, I mean it was, but Hulk Hogan really marketed himself very well, and I think if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have The Rock, John Cena, Dave
No,
Batista.
no,
Like
no. He
they,
paved the way.
he definitely
He
paved the way for
absolutely
these.
paved the way.
And who
But
could
yeah,
forget
man.
that WrestleMania against Andre the Giant? That
Hmm.
for me it is just
Just seeing him lift them and do the slam, I was
forget it.
just like, whole like this guy's superhuman. This guy,
Yeah,
it's
there's no
crazy.
way.
All right, so now we're gonna talk about the '90s TV show sitcom intros.
That's right.
Now, I don't know if you guys watch, like, people watch TV shows now, and like the intro is maybe like a flash of the title, and then that's it. Maybe like somebody speaking. There's like a little melody, and then it just goes to the show. But back then, you didn't skip. Like there was, granted, we didn't have the element to do this, but like the intro will play to the show, and you're listening to it, and they're bangers. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
got like people to write these songs. The you could, if they were producing albums for like TV show intros, but you would probably mind them because man, there are so many bangers, and we know them all. We know them all
Yes.
by memory.
And you could
We
probably sing 'em.
sing them all from beginning to end. Well, at least the versions that are on the show. Because funny enough, I was watching. Well, we get into it, but I've watched 2 or 3 shows recently that were from that era, and the funny enough, the first like season plays like the long version of the song,
Yeah.
which I'm just like, wow, there's so much more. I don't know this version of it. But
Yeah.
then you get to like season 2, season 3, and it's the shorter version, which is the ones that I know. So we'll go over the it's the top 10, but not in the order. Like we didn't put these in an order because everyone's different. I
Yeah.
couldn't bring myself to sit down and put these in a particular order. These are just the most top 10 songs from a show that we could think of, that one we could like sing from back to front, and two,
Yeah.
probably the second you hear it, you're transported to either where you were watching it or like what was going on, where you were and stuff like that. So I got the list right here. So let me go ahead and this is a
What do we
very
got?
interesting list, very nostalgic list right here.
I'm sure. What do we got?
So
I'm sure.
first one, and again, there's no particular order. There's just 10 shows with songs that just banged. Is the first one is a literal rap song that was for a show.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
And everybody knows those words.
Everyone knows this song. And right now, Will Smith is showing his midlife crisis, and he's producing some pretty cringe content. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
And I don't want to say what it's attributed to. This guy was one of my favorite actors, like in the world. Like
Yeah.
anything Will Smith did pre the slap, yo, like I'm in. I bought his book. Like
Yeah.
I was a huge Will Smith fan. I was a supporter. He was a huge supporter, like a huge promoter of positivity. You can do whatever you want to do. Put your mind, to it, and you can achieve it. He, showed us a representation of what it was to be like in a good marriage at that point, before all this stuff was going on.
Yeah.
Like he was a very positive role model for like a bunch of people, and just right now, it's sad to see like the stuff that's coming out of him. But anyways, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is
sure.
definitely a song that everyone knows. Like you could go anywhere, you hear it, you hear just a beat from it, and you know what it is.
Absolutely.
The next one is Family Matters.
Oh, what a great song. What
And-
a great song.
I think I said it in a few podcasts back. I had just recently ran through the entire series of Family Matters. Family Matters is one of the shows where the first 2 seasons, it's a much longer version of the song that we actually know. So I remember when I started watching it, where the first season is very like light on Steve Urkel. They're actually focusing on the actual Family Matters. And the song is so much longer, and I actually learned it now because I watched that whole season. But Family Matters song is just so iconic. It was part of TGIF. Like almost all the shows on TGIF were absolute banger songs in the beginning. So yeah, Fresh Prince, Family Matters. The next one, another F show,
Yeah.
Full House.
Iconic.
Full
That
House.
whew, that one is ingrained in our memories. It has to be. Like it's such a great theme song and such a great intro. And I think that's what I loved about all of these intros, all of these theme songs, all of these. It was Friday night, TGIF. Everybody knows what TGIF is, and you're just there, and you knew when that song came on, it's on. It's on. It's a
And-
great show, and that's it.
almost so much that these theme songs, these intros, would set the tone for the show that you're about to watch. Very upbeat, very hopeful, like at least for the ones we just talked about, super super like here's what you're about to watch. Let's get
Yeah,
you ready. And they're just banger of songs. Full
they
House of
are.
Song is a banger song. The next one um, is from a show that is nothing like the last two shows that we talked about.
Okay.
Married with Children.
Oh my God. Everybody knows that theme song. I don't care who you are. I don't care if
Oh
you didn't
yeah.
watch it. If you hated the show, you knew that theme song. You
And the
knew
funny
it.
thing is, it wasn't a song written for the show. The song obviously existed in its own. It has a Frank Sinatra version and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But man, I remember I heard the original version of this somewhere in the like when I was out and about, and it was out of context. It was just the song was playing like somewhere, and I'm like, "Yo, that's the Married with Children theme song." But I heard like it's long form, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's interesting." Here's the funny thing: I heard it in Chicago. That was the funny thing. I heard it
Oh,
when I was in Chicago. When we were in
we were in
Chicago.
Chicago. That's right.
Yeah,
We were in
that
Chicago. That's
trip when
right.
I was in Chicago, and you were there by like complete randomness.
Yeah.
When I was out with my girl, we are doing stuff for her birthday. We're somewhere. And I was like, "That's the theme to family." I'm sorry, to Married with Children. And I was like, I wonder if that's because Married with Children took place in Chicago, and that
And it
was
did. Yeah.
so.
For sure.
But yeah, Married with Children. Now the next one. Funny enough, I talked to people. A lot of people don't talk to me about this show. It was very popular. I know. I don't know. Maybe my circle of people when I speak about like old TV shows, this one doesn't come up. But Step by Step,
That is a great song.
the show
Everybody
was
step
good.
by step, day
Day
by
by day.
day. No one talks about the show, and again, I'm with you on this one. Everybody, remember, I love this, and that opening where they go to the theme park
The
and they're
theme
riding the
park.
roller. Oh my God,
And
what a great
water
opening!
gun squirting, and then the way the theme song ends, it's very like hopeful. It's almost like a movie thing where like it's panning out. They're on the
Yeah,
roller coaster, and it's like, dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun.
and that's how it ends. And I
Yeah,
think every one of these song, like I think what I liked about every one of these theme songs, you're introducing who the actor is, and it's a very positive like, and they're like smiling or
yeah.
whatever they're doing.
Oh,
But that's how.
it's funny because you see like reels on like social media, and people reenact like the thing. It's like, oh, the troublesome teenager. It's
Yeah, exactly.
like they're working on the car. Like,
Yeah, that's it. Family Matters. He was working on his, and he's like,
yeah,
like it was a very positive. No matter what they were doing, it was very
yeah.
positive. It was very, But it's funny enough that people, I guess, people younger than us are reenacting these sitcoms, and but because they're ingrained. I mean, that's how iconic and how much of a stamp they put in our childhood.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Step by Step. I watched. Funny enough, I was gonna start rewatching this one, but I think I watched the first like two episodes, and then I switched over and started watching Family Matters. And Family Matters just was, to me, if you compare them to me, Family Matters it was just more entertaining because
Yeah,
of the Urkel element.
yeah, of course.
So Step by Step has Cody, who he's
Yes,
there. I guess you would say he's their Urkel because he's the one that comes in. He's like the dude. Funny enough, very respected martial artist. The actor is, I believe his
yes,
name
I
is
heard.
Sasha something.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah, I
remember
heard.
I remember he had like a girl's name, and I was like, oh man, for such a like tough big dude, he has like a chick's name. So
Yeah,
that was funny to me. But yeah, so Step by Step is definitely one of those theme songs that like to a '90s kid, we know it. It's on there.
yeah.
Now, this might be one of the most known, the most iconic song on the list. I mean, not saying that it's not to me. I absolutely, this is a banger, and it's on several playlists that I listen to and stuff like that. But the Friends theme song by the Rembrandts,
Yeah, iconic.
iconic. And the funny thing is, this thing is played to this day. Like you could be walking through a mall, and this song will come on because a lot of malls play like 80s,
Yeah,
90s hits, stuff like that.
yeah.
And
Or on the
this is one of
radio,
the songs.
for sure. For
Yeah.
sure, this is one of those
This is
songs.
the second song on the list that you could hear on the you could hear on the radio or like on the stream, because Fresh Prince was another actual song that was
Yeah.
playing on the radio, and the Friends theme song was the other one. Married with Children, yeah, but it wasn't like a high played radio song in the 90s at least.
Yeah. For
But
sure.
the Friends theme song, and it's crazy because like, bro, you could be any generational person like who probably hasn't seen this song or seen this show knows this song and knows that it's linked to Friends, and maybe has never watched an episode of Friends but knows it's the song to Friends. And the craziest part is you've heard it, it's been in the background, you've heard it, and you know like the parts are coming. Like I remember I was watching, I did like a little stream of it, when was it, like a year ago,
Yeah.
and like my girl, she wasn't into Friends. She's like, oh, it's there's a generational gap between us, and she's like, oh, I don't, it doesn't appeal to me. But she knows the theme song, and she even knows the clapping part.
Of course.
Like, everyone knows this damn song
Of
because
course.
that's how iconic, one, the show was,
Yeah.
and two, the song is just an absolute banger
For
of a
sure.
song.
Yeah, I know this one, and I noticed as a kid because it was part of the Thursday lineup along with Seinfeld on NBC. So I mean, I watched it with my family, like, and that was considered like an adult show. That wasn't
Yeah.
part of that. That wasn't really like a family show. That was more like an adult show because that's why it was with Seinfeld and stuff. But funny enough, my fiance, she is a massive Friends person. So on one of our first dates on Valentine's Day, they had a Friends experience, and I took her, and you know, it was this whole thing. So I know that it's an iconic song for sure.
Yeah.
It's an iconic song. So.
But yeah,
So what-
that's Friends. Next one, it's on the it's for the younger side, but it is a show that we all watched. Saved by the Bell.
Oh,
That
another
song,
classic song.
I mean, the show is it's a 100% on 90s, like visually, like you see a frame from Saved by the Bell
You know what
of
it
the
is.
show. One, you know what it is, and two, like you feel and smell and taste the 90s just watching one frame, one cell
Yeah.
of what is Saved by the Bell. But yeah,
Yeah.
that song was a banger, man. It starts, that's like a high energy song. It's super quick pace, has that guitar riff in the middle, where it's just like every time I hear that guitar riff, I visually go back. I know it's the Mr. Belding part. When
Yeah.
the guitar riff is ripping, it's Mr. Belding just doing his thing, and
Yeah.
that was an iconic song.
And just imagine waking up at school at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you're watching that at 7 o'clock in the morning. That'll wake you up.
Oh,
Most definitely. That'll definitely wake you up.
Saved by the Bell, man. That I watch that show every once in a while. Like I'll go back to it. It's just so crazy how much the world has changed
Yeah.
from that time. And Saved by the Bell was one of those shows where when you were like a preteen or you're like elementary school, middle school, you thought that school was gonna look like that and feel like that. The nerds, the way they were, it's not an exact representation, at least when I got to
Yeah.
high school. But yeah, no, the way the nerds were, that wasn't a real thing. The nerds, the jocks, the cheerleaders, was there a form of that? Yes, there was some kind of like inclusion and stuff like that. But and the locker situation, I don't know how lockers were for you in high school. We didn't have those long, big lockers.
No,
We
it
had
was
them
square.
in gym. We had them in gym, but basically you had like this little
Square.
cube locker. I was like, I can't hide in this locker, or I can't put somebody in this locker.
No,
But yeah,
I'm sure
Saved-
at some point that there were lockers like that, but it definitely wasn't our generation. No
Yeah.
way.
So Saved by the Bell. We got three more. Now
Okay.
this one, very big show on ABC. It wasn't part of the lineup of TGIF, but a very, very high rating show. Home Improvement.
That's a
Wait.
great.
Tim Allen, where basically it's just an instrumental, and then him making his like noises. Huh? Yeah,
Like,
that thing. I
I
can't
can't
do
even-
it.
Okay,
But
yeah, I get it, yeah.
Home Improvement, like you could hear it, and you could be anywhere. You'll hear that thing in the background. You know it's Home Improvement. Like
Yeah.
that one just hits. Funny enough, I watched it not when it was on its channel when it was live. I caught the reruns when they were like on like WB or like UPN or something like that. Again, I was a kid, so like
Yeah.
a lot of these shows I didn't really watch when they were on. And again, it is a show that's like towards adults to watch and stuff like that. And the comedy, Tim Allen's comedy was very, very adult.
Yeah, for sure.
Still an iconic show. And when I watch it back now, like it's funny because I'm in like the age group of what he represented and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's more relatable now as an adult when I watch it back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it makes sense. That's another good one. Again, you
So
can be wherever you're at. Get that.
these last two have an asterisk on it because these shows I believe did start both of them in the 80s but ended in the 90s.
Okay.
So the next one, number 9, but not on a ranking list. Cheers.
Cheers. That's right. Oh my God. What everybody knows that song. That if there was a ranking list, that's at least top 3.
Easy.
In my
Easy.
easy top 3 for sure.
Because sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
And that's right. I mean, just such a great song. And that wasn't even my generation. I never really watched Cheers, but I could sing you the song.
Absolutely. I mean, we would watch Cheers in my house. I think my mom would watch Cheers, and I would watch it. That was the first time I saw Woody Harrelson, and I remember when I first saw White Men Can't Jump. Yeah, it's a dude from Cheers playing against Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
But no, Cheers. Again, I was super young. We're the same age. We were super young when Cheers was popping. So
Yeah.
not much for us when it was live to like really dive into it and like be able to understand the comedy. But if you go back and give it like a rewatch and you watch how it plays out and Sam and just how everything, okay, it's a bar. People go, the regulars go after work to kind of unwind and they tell their stories and it's genius. It's just a genius fucking plot.
Even the intro. I mean, the intro is not your typical 90s. I think that came in. I mean, granted, I don't know if it came in the 90s. I'm sure they had it in the 70s, but your intro wasn't like them smiling. No, it was a great intro. Had this great artwork, all these old vintage pictures of people at a bar. And it's like, okay, you're saying this is trends. It's universal. And it's like, this has never changed. The bar has never changed. And you're playing this great theme song that it's just like, oh man, yes, I want to go there. If I ever go to Boston, I'm going to go visit the Cheers. Most definitely, for sure.
Yeah. And then our last song, our last TV intro.
Give it to me. What is it?
The Wonder Years. The Wonder Years, bro.
My God.
That that intro is so iconic, bro. Just thinking about it now, and like the way when the chorus kicks in, and like I have it in my head how the show starts. Like it's like a family video camera going over the stuff, and then he's like, "Oh, come get in the picture," and he comes again to the picture, and then just the Wonder Years. I'm just like, bro, and that show. I mean, dude, I was a young kid watching that show, and I was younger than what Fred Savage's character was in that show.
Yeah.
But that show was just so awesome. Funny enough, we went from watching The Wonder Years with Fred Savage to watching his brother Ben Savage on Boy Meets World. So we literally were with these two guys at different points, and they both were experiencing or seeing what the teenage boy experience was from them. And dude, let me tell you, his obsession with Winnie, man, if I could tell you and the story, and I won't go into it now, but his obsession with Winnie and how he was into her and stuff like that. The girl who I was really into looked like Winnie, and it was I had almost a page to real life experience with like how I was after her, how she gave me the time of day, and then we ended up dating and blah blah blah. My version has a different ending, but it was just so crazy and such an iconic show, very relatable. It was funny to see a show being told by adults that was so relatable to teenage boys.
It's funny where I think we talk about retro and look back on our nostalgia and stuff like that. That in itself is an older version of him and going back to what he remembered as nostalgia and what it was like. growing up in the 60s. And it's like, okay, people ask us, why are you so obsessed with nostalgia? It's like, well, because we had shows like this that helped us think, hey, look back on your time, and you had a good time, and you had your ups and downs, but it was shows like this that made you want to, hey, live in your moment. And ours would be, I think if they did it back then, it wouldn't even be the 90s. I think it'd be like 2005. Like if they did a Wonder Years now, it would be 2005. It wouldn't be in the 90s.
Well, if I'm
Like
not
if
mistaken, they tried doing a Wonder Years.
that's right. They did try to do a reboot, and obviously
I don't
nothing
think it took
compares to.
off.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think it took off, and nothing compares to the original. But it was all. But I think it was also in the 60s on the African American side of the 60s and their version of the
Yeah.
60s compared to, what Fred Savage's version and stuff of the 60s was.
Yeah.
But that is an iconic song. Like I just like I'm like, I have to hear this intro. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta hear this. There's a way like I could share like the screen. Like just this intro is such. Oh my god, it's so iconic. It really is. It really is fucking iconic, and I can't stress it enough how iconic this intro is.
So yeah, I'm gonna go over the list just so we could end it on that. But that we had Fresh Prince of Bel Air,
Yeah,
Family Matters, Full House, Married with Children, Step by Step, Friends, Saved by the Bell, Home Improvement, Cheers, and The Wonder Years.
and there's still so many more. There's
Oh, so
still.
many.
I mean, you
So
got
many.
Growing Pains, another iconic theme song. I mean, you got Growing Pains. You got a bunch of other ones. And then you got the animation
There were
version
so many. Oh yeah, and we'll do the animated shows on another segment.
for
But
sure.
yeah, those were the top 10, but in no particular order, at least to us,
Yeah.
90s sitcom intro songs. So now we're going to end it with our last segment. These are the memes of the week.
All right, the memes of the
So,
week. What do we got?
memes of the week is basically throughout the week, Tony and I will either send these to each other or we get them sent to us because people know that we're nostalgic heads. And these are just things that people send to us that I'm just like, oh, you know what? That's good. A lot of times I'll get the same meme sent to me like 10 times. So
Yeah.
these are the top ones that we got this week. So let's go ahead and dive into these memes of the week in no particular order, but let's go ahead.
All right, here we go.
So this first meme here says, imagine trying to explain to today's generation that we got our internet from a CD back in the day. And the image is a 1,175 hours free AOL disc
Bro, we got these things in the mail constantly or at
in
Best
the
Buy.
mail. If we ran out of hours or whatever, we're going to Best Buy, Eckerd's, or CVS, depending on your time frame.
All free.
Office Depot, and I think at some point we were just like jacking these things up. We're just taking a handful of them because you're gonna run out of AOL time. It's so crazy that we're using this as our way of getting on the internet and reaching out to people. The AOL chat rooms.
Oh my
what
god,
was it
that's a segment in itself. Just, I mean, AOL was for the '90s for you and me.
Yeah.
That was it for sure.
I remember those Miami chats, and you type in there ASL, age, sex, and local, and like you had like a profile, and you could like type like maybe, like 8 things: your name, I think your birthday, and then you could put one picture. But back then, pictures were like the most pixelated pieces of shit ever.
And you had to
So, like, I remember
download it. My
yeah.
god.
And I remember like I had one picture. It was like me, Chris, and Tony, but I cropped myself, and it looks like I look like a character like in a 8-bit video game, and I'm just like this. So stupid. But yeah, this is definitely very nostalgic. So again, AOL discs, going to stores and getting these. This is crazy. What's the next one?
For sure. The next one is. This one says, me in 1987 or the 90s spending 3 days trying to make this jump. And it has a picture of a guy sitting in front of a TV, very focused, and playing Super Mario Brothers. And I don't know what level this is. Maybe you can help me on this level.
It looks like the first level.
It looks like the first level, but I think it was maybe Warp Zone. I remember because I remember you do Warp Zone and you do four, and four was kind of like the first level, just a little more big,
Hmm.
and it has the biggest gap you have to try to make,
And he's like
and
on the edge of it.
yeah, and you're like, where are you gonna run to? Or, like where you like, and of course you like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yo,
Definitely a very stressful situation right there. Just I remember like I if I remember correctly on this part, you could like hold down the run button and kind of like run through those actual gaps and then
yes,
jump. But if
yeah.
you actually tried to jump and you landed on that edge, man, that was stress.
It was
Sweating
definitely a stress.
bullets.
And you get angry, you'd be like, fuck. And like, like I don't know if he'd curse, but you'd be like, oh, yo,
Yeah.
oh my God, for sure. That was
What's
definitely a
the next
stressful
one?
time. The next one is, oh my God,
Oh my goodness.
the virtual Game Boy.
The Virtual Boy released 30 years ago, like this month, 30 years ago. I remember this thing coming out and everyone going crazy because one, it's called the Virtual Boy. So, what was a big thing that we're all alluding to in the 90s of video game? The next thing was going to be virtual reality.
For sure. They had them in
And Nintendo
malls, all that stuff.
Nintendo came up with this tabletop version of what they perceived to be virtual reality. Now, yeah, this thing was such a bust
It was.
because you literally put this thing on the tabletop, you have your controller, and then you put your head into there. And basically it's just a game in red and black. And it does have a dimensional thing to it, but you got such a freaking headache playing
Absolutely.
this thing. And there weren't any like good games on this. So it's just so crazy. But yeah, this meme basically is showing a picture of the Virtual Boy. You could have rented them at Blockbuster for like $10 or something like that. And I think I remember the game that was on there was like Mario Tennis or Wario Tennis. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, this thing was just they were trying to bank on the whole idea that people were like obsessed with virtual reality, but this thing failed. But funny enough, right now, if you want to get one of these things, complete in box, you're looking like $600 maybe.
They were
Like
terrible for your eyes.
people aren't playing them; they're just collecting them to have them on display and stuff like that. Like I know guys who have like retro room stores or retro room like pages, and like some of their profile pictures is literally them in the Virtual Boy.
That
So
is insane. And it's funny enough that you see this and they were terrible for your eyes. What do we have now? We have virtual reality at home. Goggles, I see kids a little better for your eyes, not so red and black. Boy, have we come a long way.
yeah,
We
what we
really
got
have.
next?
All right. This one's great.
Oh my god, dude. So funny thing with this one. So I'll read this one out. So this meme says, "Kids today will never know the wrath of this thumb destroyer, and it is the Duracell battery with the Duracell power check. You remember those batteries that you held at the top and at the bottom with the little white dots, and it
Yes.
would show you the power level of the battery."
Yeah.
Oh my, the one memory that comes to mind with me with these freaking batteries, these fucking finger destroyers, was when I had a Sega Game Gear. If you
Yes.
remember the Sega Game Gear,
Oh my
that
God.
thing would fucking run through batteries. And this bitch took six batteries.
Six
Six
double A batteries.
motherfucking batteries. And I went to my mom, get me the good batteries so that way it last longer. You could have gotten me fucking $1,000 batteries. And this shit was gonna fucking eat those batteries within 2-3 hours.
Easily. Easily. For
So
sure it
I
was.
remember I would play my games, stuff like that, and then we throughout the house for a good amount of time we had these batteries. So I would run around the house. I would grab all the remote controls of the TVs in the house, test them, be pushing, and then you're pressing harder, hoping that it has more power. You're like, oh, if you slightly hold them and the thing goes up, you're like, oh, maybe if I hold it harder, it'll tell me there's more. This is just a fucking hope system. That's what
It
it
is.
was.
It really
It
was
was a
hope.
wish system. I hope this thing has more than 50% battery.
I think
So
we were always trying to get it past and like explode out, out of the battery.
here's the thing. I have to look into this. I don't know how accurate how was this was this even real? Was this even an accurate thing?
I don't know. I don't know if
I
it
don't
was
know if this
accurate
was
though.
accurate because
It could be
it
fooling our
seems
minds. I'd be
gimmicky.
like, yeah, it does. It really does. If you actually think about it right now, I would like to see if I could find one day and then put it up a real battery tester and see if this thing is real or not, or if they were just like messing with us at this
Yeah,
point.
because
But
mind you, I'm not saying the ingenuity and the technology in the '90s was bad, but how how accurate was this thing? Yeah, when batteries were dead, it almost didn't move. But how?
yeah,
I don't know. Anyways, I'll look that up. I'll look into it. We'll come back to this in a later podcast.
for sure.
But yeah, again, let me read that one back to you guys. Kids today will never know the wrath of this thumb destroyer, and it's a Duracell battery with the Duracell power check. What a
Oh my
fucking
god.
atrocious experience.
All right, and our last meme of the week. Here we go.
Last meme of the week. Oh my god. So
My
this
god.
one isn't exactly a meme. There's no wording on it. It's just basically an homage to any 90s kid. And there's just several items on here. I'll go through them. And funny enough, I had quite a few of these things. At the top, you have a Walkman. I believe that's a CD player Walkman with a CD case that holds CDs. Then
Yeah.
you have a Lamborghini Diablo, if I'm not mistaken, at the top, a poster of a
Every kid had this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a poster, you had a toy. This was like one of the most sought out cars for any young to teenage boy.
Yeah.
Then there's a picture of the Super Soaker, the original yellow and green bottled Super Soaker.
Yeah.
The one barrel pump action Super Soaker, the most iconic looking one. You have a jersey of an Orlando Magic jersey with the one on it, which was Penny Hardaway. An iconic basketball player, an iconic shoe line, which to this day still holds because those foam posits are like still very active in the sneaker community, and the the Penny ones and twos to me are still one of the most iconic shoes that ever came out. In the center of this picture, you have the Jordan 11 Bread, which is the black and red, one of the most iconic shoes of the 90s to ever
Absolutely.
come out.
Yep.
So,
For sure.
To the side of that, you have that not styrofoam, that wax cup with
Yep.
the teal and purple lines, which you see everywhere. Anytime you talk about nostalgia,
is-
that design comes out. I think
90s art.
people have like jackets with this now.
Oh, sure.
So
For sure.
on the side of the shoes, you have a clear purple Game Boy, which I remember when that came out, everyone got this Game Boy.
Yeah.
And then, funny enough, under the shoe, there is a Trapper Keeper, which almost kind of looks like the one that you have there with your DeLorean. But I
Oh,
actually
look at this.
saw,
What do you think?
Yeah.
Eh? Not bad.
I
Not
actually
bad.
saw that particular Trapper Keeper on sale. They did like a re-release in 2020 with like the geometry shapes.
Yes. Yes. I remember
and
those. Yeah.
I think now you can buy it for like $20.
Yeah.
Then at the bottom, we have a Charlotte Hornets like little locker, which the Charlotte Hornets logo and their color scheme was very popping. Like everyone had Charlotte Hornets, those half fleece
Yeah.
jackets, the hats, everything Charlotte Hornets. Mind you, they were a good team. They weren't the
Yeah.
most iconic team of the 90s, but they were a good team. I believe
Yeah.
Larry Johnson was on there. Larry Johnson played like he had like a character where he would dress up like his grandma. And he would do
Yes.
stuff. I don't know if you remember that.
I
whole
remember
campaign.
that. Yes. I remember
Even
that
he
campaign.
was even on Family Matters as his grandma,
That's right. I
as the
remember.
grandma.
Yeah.
He played Urkel's teammate in a basketball
I
game.
remember. I think it was the teal. I mean, if you look
Yeah.
at the teal, that just screams 90s, bro. It really does.
Then you have the Surge can, which this was probably my most favorite drink of the 90s. And I
Same.
hated that it went away. And I remember the stigma around it was
It's the rumor.
it
The
kills
rumor.
your sperm.
Oh
That
my
it
god!
kills,
I don't know who started
your
that sperm. Like,
Oh my
it's
god! Do you remember?
some-
It's like,
I
oh,
remember that.
if you drink, mind you're telling 12 and 13-year-olds, if you drink Spurge, if you drink Surge, it's gonna kill your sperm. I was like, then bring those things on, bro. I'm not trying to have kids.
Exactly. Really?
Yeah.
Give me a 12-pack now. Like,
All right. So right under the Surge can, you have Pogs, which we've talked about Pogs before.
talked about
Pogs are
Pogs.
just something that it's just all 90s. I have a whole section in my 90s section that has a bunch of Pogs, slammers. And then the last thing, one of the most iconic pieces of fashion from the 90s. The Tommy Hilfiger jeans with the little painter's swoop, which a
Yep.
lot back then we didn't know what the hell that swoop was. We just knew that that swoop was awesome. It was
Yep.
dope. And sometimes you'd have, if you didn't have Tommy jeans, it had the little thing, but if you didn't have the Tommy logo embedded into that swoop, you wasn't shit.
No, for
And
sure.
man, were we wearing a hella Tommy? We were wearing so much Tommy. I believe his he came out the reason why Tommy kind of like slowed down was because he said that he didn't want like rappers wearing it. He made
Yeah.
a comment, and there
Yeah.
was like a big racial backlash, and it's just like, are you serious, dude? Every music video, everyone was wearing Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy
sure.
Hilfiger underwear, Tommy Hilfiger jackets, Tommy Hilfiger pants, even
Yeah.
the hats and stuff on their heads, Tommy Hilfiger. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's this last meme. Just a bunch of items from the 90s. These are basically all the, like the boy items. And yeah, man, this I feel this page. I want everything
was-
from this page.
Yeah, Scream's 90s. It's like the starter kit of the 90s. If like you were going to send back in time, you'd send them back with the starter kit. Be like, here,
Yeah.
you'll be okay. You know. So
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
All right.
those are memes of the week, man. So
So good one. Those are some pretty good ones.
I think so.
And we'll end it on this. So the last thing we'll talk about to close out the episode is, again, there's been a lot of drops, a lot of things that have been showed for San Diego Comic-Con.
yeah,
And these are not San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, but these are some pretty cool things. So they announced yesterday the Lego Game Boy.
oh my god,
I am not a huge Lego person. I don't have the patience or the time for Lego, but
Yeah.
there are some things that Lego has come out with that I'm just like, I would like that. They had a
Yeah, for
Nintendo
sure.
kit. They had a Nintendo kit. They had a Back to the Future one. But this Game Boy setup, bro, look at that thing.
oh my god, I'm
So
getting it. I'm getting it.
You basically just build a Game Boy out of Legos. The buttons are pressable. Like you could press the buttons and stuff like that.
Really?
On the back, it has the cartridge slot, and then there's two cartridges that you could slide in there, which is a Super Mario Land cartridge and a Zelda cartridge. Not playable. It's not.
No.
You can't play a game.
If
on
it was
it.
playable, this thing would be. I think I saw it was being sold for $60.
Yeah,
If it was playable, this thing would be selling for like $200.
absolutely. But this thing is beautiful. So
They'll
I'm
make one
definitely
that's
getting
playable,
this.
I guarantee it.
I'm going to. It's really not that hard to do that. But we'll
I
talk about it
guarantee
another day.
someone's gonna do it.
But I'm definitely getting this. That's going to go here in the retro. I actually have a Game Boy of that nature right in front of me that's on display. I just have it there for display. That's probably where I'll put that one when it comes out.
Nice.
And then the other thing, which is for my TMNT people. So last year, there was a Walmart exclusive that came out that had these Ninja Turtles, but they were like a remaster of the 80s ones. But they had these ugly bumps on them. Like they tried to
Okay.
make it like realistic. The articulation is great. There was two things wrong with them. They had these ugly bumps on them, like to make them like their skin very scaly and like kind of look like realistic. People weren't feeling it. And two, they swapped the head sculpts of Donatello and Leonardo. So
Okay.
the Ninja Turtle community went off. First of all, these things are ugly because of the skin. And secondly, like you guys messed up the heads. Like, how do you mess up the head sculpts? But people still bought them. I have them. They're actually on
Right.
display. I like them. I don't think they're that bad. I enjoy them.
Right.
Now, they listened to the fans and they came out with a 6-pack that's coming out. It's going to be a Target exclusive. And this Target exclusive has that same line of Ninja Turtles, no texture skin, smoothed
Nice.
out, just like the
Okay.
originals.
Okay.
And they fixed the head swap of Leonardo and Donatello.
It?
There it is. So it has all 4 turtles. It has a reimagined Splinter, and then that Shredder is a reimagined of Shredder. Shredder, the original figure, actually is like hunched over and has his hand out like that. It's a fucking nightmare to pose that Shredder in any kind of shape or form. But
Right.
they gave us this version that's coming out, and he's completely posable. Articulation's great on it, and that Splinter is definitely a super upgrade compared to the Splinters we got in the past. But
Nice.
yeah,
So
those
keep
are
an eye
two
out.
things. Yeah, those are two things I'm super excited for. The Game Boy thing, I don't know if that's exclusive to any stores, but I know this Ninja Turtle thing is exclusive to Target. Last
And
year
when's
we
that
had
coming out?
Walmart. It should be rolling out now, though. Like
Okay.
we're in July 25th, so I believe they're rolling out now. I went to my like 3 Targets today, and none had them. So
Okay.
I'm definitely on the hunt for these, so I could add them to the collection. But yeah,
Nice.
that's what we'll end it on. So yeah, that's our show, man.
All right, man. It's been great, man. Going down the theme songs and stuff like that, and I'm excited for the new lineups of these toys, bro. So
Yeah,
excited, bro.
a lot of stuff coming down the line. This has been a good one. So I just want to say again, thank you to everyone who is listening and watching us on YouTube and listening to us on wherever you listen to your podcasts, because we enjoy doing this. We get to actually banter back and forth, talk about things that we like, and the fact that people are listening to it and enjoying the content is good. And so we appreciate every listen, every like, every subscribe that you guys give us. Please share it with your friends and family. Let them know if they're into these things to go ahead and give us a follow and a listen. We are on the socials as far as TikTok and Instagram. And Tony just recently opened a Instagram to
Yep.
kind of interact with the people who are into
Absolutely.
the podcast.
It'd
So
be Tony and Retro, so that's my Instagram handle,
Yeah.
and I believe it's in TikTok too. Also, that's my
Yep.
TikTok handle.
and
So
we gotta give a huge shout out to our producer Mike, who is behind the camera most of the times, doing all the stuff that come out on the screen and that help us get this podcast on air. So thanks again to Mike.
all right,
But
cool.
that's gonna do it, man. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Roly. That is Tony. Our
Later.
producer is Mike, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Have a good one.